spiritual living. My name is Janelle Carroll, and I am a licensed religious life practitioner with the Center. And I'm happy to be with you here this morning. So let's begin our meditation as always. Did you think any thoughts about how you got here, what you're doing afterwards, how this is going to work out, how that's going to work out? Let's just breathe right here in this moment. This moment is more than enough. In this moment is all that we need. Inhaling and exhaling, find that perfect rhythm. And sink deeper into that space within, where that still, small voice speaks loud and clear. Where I am, I hear the birds, I hear the wind, like earth breathing, that same breath in and out, connecting all things in the power and presence that is the one. It is a new month, May 1st, May Day, time of spring and maypole celebrations. Celebrations and happy times. This month, the Center for Spiritual Living are focused on emotions. Often we roll together feeling, emotion, belief. But they're all intertwined. This morning, and speak to you of feelings. Working with young children, a key goal is to help them regulate their emotions. Social emotional learning is not just feel the feeling, but name it. They say that those abilities are key to success later in life. And we know this. We say if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Not just if you're happy. There's the feeling happy, and then there's the knowing of happiness. There's two different things. I wonder, why is it not enough to feel happy, but you have to know it? Is it just because I want the children to be able to communicate their feelings? Feelings shared are equal? Maybe. Or maybe it's because they are two different things. The child feels feelings, but knowing happiness is different than feeling happiness. Knowing anger is different than feeling anger. Knowing what sadness is different than feeling sad. Because there is a feeling, and then there is the one who knows what that feeling is. A child is not happy. A child feels happy. And the child knows what happiness is one who is aware. if you're angry and you know it. But we are grown-ups. We are emotionally complex human beings. Not just happy, sad, or angry. We get to use words like elated, enraged, depressed. Be complex. And a friend recently sent me a Twitter meme, something like mine, that says, I consider myself to be an emotionally complex being, and then the sun comes out and I feel happy. So I'm basically just a big leaf, just a big green leaf. How true is that? The sun comes out, and it's a beautiful day. It's overcast, and we feel downcast. But remember that the sun isn't shining on me. The sun is shining on the earth, and I happen to be standing here. The rain is not falling on me. The rain is falling on the earth, and I happen to be standing here. So what is it that the earth feels about the sun? What does the earth know about the rain? I don't know. I'm not the earth. Can't pretend to know what others think or people feel. But I can imagine that when it's raining, the earth feels rain. It doesn't feel happy or sad about it. It feels rain. That when it's sunny, the earth feels sunny. Not happy or sad about it, just sunny. What if our emotions were like that for us? So this morning, in this time, I invite you to be here. Whatever emotion you know right now, whatever emotion you are feeling right now, whatever that feeling is, be here. Let it just be what it is. When it's sunny, it's sunny. When it's raining, well, it's raining. When it's storming, it's not angry, it's storming. I invite you to consider the feelings and emotions in your own life. Be the earth. Is there sadness? Well, it's sadness. Are you feeling happy? Let it be. Stand at the earth as the ground and simply let your feelings rain on you, rain on you. Whatever those feelings are, just let them be while you and your friend. We are grounded in wonders. That one power and presence. Know your feelings. Name them. This would help. But stand grounded in the wonder. The feelings may shine down on you, they may rain down on you. But you are grounded in the wonder. And right now, turn once again on that breathing. That inhale and that exhale, just as the wind breathes the earth. Following yourself back to this body, to this state, physical place that you're occupied in this moment. Inhaling and exhaling, and when you are ready, open your eyes. Namaste. All right, today for meditation and also for being here for Sunday celebration. And thank you, Carissa, for the organic gardening workshop last week. Thank you. If you ever, a professional, not professional, you can do that. Just talk with Marty? The office, Robin. Talk with Robin for you to fill out, but it would be wonderful. Dining is back, and if you want to host things but want
connect, talk with the office. We have forms for that too. And our first Divine Dining for 2020 Peace on Saturday, May 7th. That would be next Saturday. May 7th is World Labyrinth Day. Every year on the first Saturday in May, thousands of people around the globe participate in this moving meditation for world peace celebration of the Labyrinth experience. Many walk as one at one local time to create a rolling wave of peaceful energy passing from one time zone to the next. Join our initiative to pause for peace, walk the labyrinth, and plant peace with every step. Join Robin Brookhouse and Margie Salmons at 12 for a meal, a labyrinth walk, and drumming circle. Bring a percussion instrument, a camp chair for comfort, including your thigh. Today is the last day to sign up in the lobby or contact the office. Join Dave 12 at 12 p.m. in the community room for his workshop, Creating Your Beautiful Life. And you can sign up in the lobby to attend and see more details. Also, there's details in your newsletter that you got an email, and that description was just outreach for others. Here at the temple, our intention is to provide fresh produce for local food banks in our community. Carissa Holmes has volunteered to lead us in this effort, and in order to make this vision a reality, we need people who are willing to weed and water and harvest throughout the growing season. So we can donate plants and tools, sometimes just presents can help others do the work. Let us know if you are willing to put our mission in action by serving others through deep community. Help CCSL gather and grow for others in our gardening project right here where we celebrate every Sunday. And Columbus Pride is back this year for the 19th and 18th. If you would like to organize walkers from CCSL for the parade, let us know if you would like it. Particularly today, practitioners will be outside in the answer room available to support you in all of anything, really. All right. So thank you for being here today. That is the announcements. And I woke up this morning. With my mind, set on spirit with my mind, set on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind, set on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm walking and talking with my mind, set on spirit. Walking and talking in my mind, set on spirit. Walking and talking in my mind, set on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Singing and praying with my mind, set on spirit. Singing and praying with my mind. Good morning. Welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Margie Salmons. I'm a licensed religious science practitioner. Welcome to everybody that's here physically. Welcome to you that are watching us live stream on Facebook. Welcome in the future to an organization that supports you
wherever you are on your path to God and however you show up in the world. You're being part of us. I say for the World Labyrinth Day, that's at my house, so you can come and watch the labyrinth that I've been cutting for the last weather. For those of you that are watching on, share and let other people know we're here and come visit us. So let's please read our mission statement along with me. As I've said before, our mission statement is, so we serve the transformation of individual lives through education, spiritual practice, and deep community using spirit and science of mind principles as our compass. Thank you. I'd also like to thank Janelle Carroll for our meditation this morning and for holding high watch during service, which is allowing us to move into even higher consciousness. And I'd like to reintroduce Kristen Pierce to the platform.
I wore my heels today, so I'm taller and everything's okay, we now begin our sacred service with the ringing of the bowl. A reading from Good Therapy Blog 10/2019. Motions by themselves are neither good nor bad. They are simply reactions. However, the way we act or don't act on our emotions can strongly affect our well-being. Now let the music take us within. It's all God. I am a part of God. Each person here is a part of God. And I am so grateful in the knowing, the stillness, the love, the light, the laughter, the community, the abundance. I trust that all is well and in perfect order today. That every voice that gets to be heard needs to be heard. It is heard in the perfect ways in the minds and hearts of everyone. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful. I lift it up. I let it go. And so it is. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
personally gauge where we are in living everyday wonders, the Wheel of Life tool, and how strong or how lacking we were in each of these. So I always, at the beginning of the month, always show that up there if you want to play along, or we don't have to. But this is where we are now, or where we were in January, and then we have another one on the back to kind of reevaluate the work that we do individually throughout the year in this theme of living everyday wonder. So, fun thing we get to talk about now is emotions. And I gotta say that we learn a lot about ourselves through our emotions, because emotions are the feelings we experience as we process life, as we process everything. And it goes through and allows us, our emotions allow us to see growth, do exploration, understand our reflections. So there are a great number of emotions that we can experience, and that's why it adds spice to our life. So the talk title is What's on Your Spice Rack? Because emotions can be spicy. And we're going to explore what's on our own personal spice rack. So, emotions are amazing resources, and again, like I said before, they help us learn more about ourselves, like a rare spice on our personal spice rack that we can spin around to find out what the focus is for the moment. So all of our emotions are meaningful and offer us lessons throughout our lives. As human beings, our emotions are a default within our central response center. So our emotions kind of click on how we respond oftentimes. So this month, as we move forward, we're going to dive into 4 key emotions. Wait for it. Fear, happiness, anger, and sadness. Gee, what a gamut of emotions to go through. Well, we're also going to explore other emotions that those are the big 4 that we're going to have themes about this for each week in May. But we're also going to talk about the other smaller, maybe not smaller, other emotions that kind of hang on to those as we experience those larger emotions. And they kind of cluster in each category. So, and together what we're going to do is we're going to lean into learning about our emotions so that we can use that to get a greater understanding of how critical they are to our growth, to our development, and ultimately to our well-being. And rather than running away from a difficult emotion, we're going to work together to face it with curiosity, with wonderment, and also we're going to think about looking for the blessings within that. So Kristen had this read this quote this morning. I want to repeat it here because I think it's really something to think about, and it's from the Good Therapy blog, and he said this: emotions by themselves are neither good nor bad. They're simply reactions. However, the way we act or don't act on our emotions can strongly affect our well-being. And that's basically the essence of the message today and for the rest of this month. You know, in Science of Mind, we know that we are always at choice. So moving forward, we're going to examine ways that allow us to be at choice for how we're going to manage our emotions. And we're going to do that for our own growth, our own development, and ultimately our own better good or better life. So this month, as we explore these emotions and feelings, we'll also focus on the mental equivalent to gain a different perspective. And we're going to avoid praying it away through spiritual bypass. I think I said this, for accepting any spiritual bypass. Because if we do that, it's highly likely to come back again, that ignoring it. So our intention is to really process the emotions that come up and apply our spiritual practices to work through them, to breathe through them, and find a way to face what we might perceive as scary monsters, because they might not really be that scary after all if you really look at them. We may even realize that we have a misperception, or there's a false narrative that's appearing real to us, because we don't really typically dig down deep and look at those. We may realize that we're trying to assign meaning to something erroneously, because the real truth may actually present itself as we delve into the emotion more, which is the journey that we're going to go on this month. Emotions require balance so that we don't spiral downward into the dark abyss, but also so that we don't become oversaturated in bliss, that we don't include the reality of human experience, of the human experience that we all have. So today I want to introduce kind of 3 things to consider when you join on this journey of exploring our emotions. Now, some of the things I'm going to talk about are learned reflexes, and others are ways to, we can use our spiritual skills and talents and beliefs to help us navigate through this journey into our emotions. And we can emerge better, having gone through this deep exploration for ourselves. So the first thing I want to talk about of the 3 is something we've all learned to do, which is run from our emotions. Now, Gary Zukov in The Seat of the Soul said this: emotions reflect intentions. Therefore, awareness of emotions leads to awareness of intention. So keep that in mind, because most of us are taught during childhood to shut down our emotions, and we hide or we run from them. You know, often men in particular have been taught not to cry, not to express themselves, not to let anybody see your emotions outwardly. And for anyone, man or woman, you know, that shutdown makes us not feel human in our very core, at our very core. And society has pretty much trained us that there are certain emotions that are bad, and there are certain emotions that are good. Think about it. You see parents talking to their kids, and their kids expressing a specific emotion. How does that parent react? You know, if they're throwing a tantrum, if the kid is angry, if they're upset, if they're crying, that's typically, you know, it's really societal that's kind of thrown that down to us. Don't act this way. Only be happy. Only be smiling. You know, when we think about emotions in terms of bad and good, then that can cause us to criticize ourselves when we experience certain emotions that are normal emotions. And even when we, you know, the emotions that we call bad, but also the emotions that take us higher as well. You know, this is how, when we're ignoring emotions and labeling them, this is how hidden beliefs develop that affect the outcomes of our experiences. And these hidden beliefs can sabotage our heart's desires and our intentions. So by facing our emotions and looking underneath them, we actually learn how hidden beliefs originate. Once we do that, we can do the healing work that's necessary to process them instead of hiding them or ignoring them or acting like it's not a big deal. By embracing our emotions, we can uncover our hurts and our pains and apply forgiveness, compassion, and love towards the healing. So the tough times, opportunities for us. We grow through emotions, and then we can bring balance into our lives. We no longer need to run or ignore our emotions or hide from the pain, because the intention is to move into welcoming the emotions into our experience with open arms and with an open heart. So once we stop hiding, bring it on, then we can move to the next step, as it were, and that's something a little bit different. We can welcome them. We can welcome painful emotions, and what that means is looking directly at them in the face and seeing what they have to teach us. Now, this usually requires humility, courage, and strength, because it can be a really tough exercise. And that's why spiritual practice is essential, because it can provide important support when we process ourselves through this experience. So when you're doing this, you can choose to use a mantra, you could journal, meditate, or you could work with a practitioner or a prayer partner to find help in welcoming all emotions as a part of us. This part of us that can help us grow and learn from tenderness, pain, or even bliss. So deep, intuitive listening can serve as a guide for exploring areas in the emotional spectrum. And that's listening to ourselves, because our inner guidance knows where these treasures of learning and growth are, and can serve as a useful compass for access. And the most important areas to explore, those are the areas where we can feel the inner resistance. When we look at those emotions and we can feel that we don't want to go there. The nice thing is there's no need to hurry and get this done quickly to check off the box. Because this is an exploration. It could be a lifetime exploration, actually. It never really ends. Because what we can do is we can take our time to go deeply. We can apply our spiritual practices to support us, and we can go deeper in our exploration to unpack and learn from them. Because that's a path to growth. So our journey may uncover some additional work that needs to be done, or more support that is needed for digging all that stuff up. But in the end, this cleaning out and this discovering process will yield a happier and healthier you, a happier and healthier person. And you may find that this welcoming of your emotions in time will yield a gift or gifts to you. It's really, as we said before, we're always at choice, how we choose to look at something. And finally, we'll want to work towards creating balance and harmony in our lives with our emotions. You know, we usually experience a variety of emotions simultaneously, as we know, because there are so many emotions in that spice rack that we all lug around. So where there's a balance on the emotional spectrum, all is usually well. But it's when the emotions are skewed to either extreme that causes disharmony and imbalance. So whether it's a little too spicy or not spicy enough, because believe it or not, even too much joy and bliss can cause overexcitement, anxiety, or too much stimulation. Too much sadness can cause depression and an onslaught of other emotions that kind of cluster in with sadness. Too much fear can cause insecurities, isolation, unworthiness, doubt. So we're constantly working through our emotional processing center based on what's going on in our lives and in our world. So I'll share like a little personal story of my, short story of my own emotional journey, where I, in retrospect, as I was writing this talk, I thought about this. So sometime after I became a practitioner back in, it's been 10 years. 10 years. But anyway, it was about 4 years after I had been a practitioner. I think probably. Anyway, I started thinking about what it would be like to be a minister, and I hadn't even enrolled or anything like that. But what happened was there was something that was holding me back. I shared the story of the call, or what the call was for me, so it was back and forth, but what was holding me back, and as I thought about this, as I peeled the onion back, I know it was fear. That's the big emotion I tagged onto it, but there was a lot of other little emotions. So the questions that kept coming up in my mind was, how could I go to school and work full time? How could I afford it? Because it's not cheap. How could I afford to fly out, or even have the time with working full time, to fly out to the West Coast once a quarter or twice a quarter, or however often that was, where we had to meet in person? So along with the fear, I was honing a lot of other smaller tag-along emotions. I was spicing up my life with the wrong spices. It was tasting a little funky there, but so I had the I'm not worthy. Seriously, me, a minister, seriously, to this day, I still say that, me, a minister, but okay, that's an unworthiness thing. I'm not smart enough, so there's insecurity there. I'm too old. I don't know what that one is, but doubt that I could do it, I guess. And I could go on, because I was scared to take this leap into this totally different world. I mean, I lived in corporate America for many years. Everything, I knew what was going on there, but this was totally different. So there was fear. But what I realized is the call became stronger than the fear, believe it or not, and all the other emotional spices I was sprinkling into my life. So eventually I got still, and I recognized the emotions for what they were. They were my reactions to the unknown. And they're always going to be there until I stepped into the unknown, which I'm in here right now. So you know the rest, I'm here. But here's the deal. The emotions aren't done. And, going through this in May, going through our emotions together in May doesn't mean you never have to do it again, because it's a lifelong thing. Never is. Chris is laughing. It never ends. It never goes away. It's always something you have to work with. I'm struggling with emotions today. I got a test tomorrow. I really need to study more for it. I don't even know what the questions are going to be. And I just recognize that at some point in time, you just got to breathe and accept them, because it's all good. It's all God. Even those emotions that I said earlier that we're not supposed to talk about, it's God. So here's the other thing. With everything that's been going on in the world over the last few years, it's a wonder that we all aren't intense basket cases. I mean, let's face it. I mean, we've survived. Given the extreme local, national, global events and circumstances, many of us here and everybody we know has been on hyperdrive emotionally. It just hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped. It's always something. You know, it's a constant effort to work through these opportunities of emotional healing and learning, so we're not oversaturated in one direction or the other. Again, our spiritual practices are an excellent way to stay grounded and process the constant emotional swings of life. We just all had the opportunity to live in an age where we got to experience not just regular life, but add the pandemic on top of there. So you can write that down in your journal. So here's our call to action. Like anything in life, practice makes perfect in maintaining emotional health and balance in our life. So staying aware of our thoughts, moods, and disposition is a healthy practice. And creating balance in our activities also helps our emotional center stay balanced. So, you've heard this before, but we'll say it today: exercise, rest, a healthy diet, positive engagement with others, deep self-care, spiritual practice, and healthy activity all serve to support and balance and bring harmony into our lives. So if our mixture is a little too spicy or too dull, it can be an indicator of areas that require extra attention or focus. And those areas can be learning opportunities for calibration and for some healing. So if we pay attention to those signs that we may be seeking, something in a certain emotional area, we can take action in a timely manner when we need it. We can take a look at what's happening around us in our lives and in the world, and that might give us a clue for some self-exploration as we move through May. So, as I said before, staying healthy in any area requires effort, including staying healthy in our emotional response center. So being human is dynamic. It's a process that requires ongoing attention. So keeping our emotional center healthy takes awareness, and it often takes courage, compassion, strength, and faith. And when you do this, I'm not saying that courage, compassion, strength, and faith are that other person's qualities. They're your qualities. Accept that you have that within you to explore yourself. So I love this quote from Maya Angelou because it speaks to the essence of emotions and to feelings. And that this was attributed to her. She said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." So when you're feeling overwhelmed by feelings or emotions, take some time to regenerate. One of the things you can do is you can use a mindfulness meditation that will allow you to explore an emotion that is up for you in that moment. So just take a few minutes to sit quietly and simply, if you can, close your eyes and watch your thoughts go across your brain, kind of like a video screen, and apply a little bit of a gentle focus to that particular emotion that's pushing your button right then. And y'all know, stuff pushes our buttons. My famous expression that I stole from someone was, our buttons get pushed, but we installed the buttons. So you know they're there. So look at that and just watch what comes up in your mind without attachment. And if you do get distracted or you get attached to something, you start thinking, just refocus on watching your thoughts drift by. Little clouds in the sky. Now if you want, you can journal afterwards to see what emerges. And then while you're going through this, you can repeat this meditation 3 more times in the week, or 5 more times, whatever works for you. So one tool you can reach to. And I always like to end a talk. I always like to share the affirmation that is in the theme information. So you can use this short affirmation this week or at any time, and it's this. I am blessed and grateful for my emotions and feelings. And no matter what they are. So I am blessed and grateful for my emotions and feelings. So as we move forward this month exploring emotions, ask yourself this. Do I hold myself accountable to stretch and grow in processing my emotions? And then ask, am I willing to try? If so, then I look forward to joining with you, exploring and understanding our emotions as we journey together to a better understanding of ourselves, and we work to achieve balance in our lives. Bon voyage. Let's take this into prayer. So I just breathe deeply, resting in spirit. I know that spirit is all that there is, and spirit is love, abundance, clarity, joy, happiness. I know that spirit is also all of the emotions within me that are indicators of my life processing in the world. I recognize God, the source itself, as the creative power, always moving forward, always life-giving and life-affirming, no matter what I attach to it as a value. I know that I'm connected to this powerful principle that is love. And I know that is true for each and every person that hears my voice and each and every person in the world. And so what I claim today is that I am no longer afraid of what I am deep inside. That I address, look boldly at how I feel, how I am expressing, and I love it all. I love myself through that, and I love everyone else through that as well. It feels good to accept at the very core level each and every person, including myself. And so I will live a life of spice, knowing that it's all good and it's all God. And so I, with a grateful heart, say thank you for this understanding. Thank you for being able to hold this space. And I release this prayer into the law that says, yes, my beloved, yes. I close with amen, ashe, and I invite you to close with me by saying, and so it is. consciously contribute to the center now, we are honored to be able to support you spiritually, and we appreciate the gifts and the conscious contributions that you give to Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. They're important because they help us to fulfill our vision of helping to create a world that works for everyone. And as we engage in the law of circulation, we remember that spirit is our source, and we are circulating spirit's energy in the form of money by giving and receiving. Reverend Amy always says this, the basket will come around, or if you can't give today, just put your hands over the basket or towards the basket and send love. Send love and prosperity, because that's really the energy of source. And if you have a donation for today, you can put it on your left, your hands on your heart, and I'd like you to say our affirmation with me. My gift goes forth to heal, and it does it in return. So it
Law of circulation, join us in singing Michael Gott's All That I Need. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. Light of love and grace, shine upon my face. All that I need comes to me. I've been set free, I'm released. I've been set free, I'm released. The burden of my past gone away at last. I've been set free, I'm released. Sweet rain that washes me clean. Sweet rain that washes me clean. From the gates of things to my life it brings. Sweet rain that washes me clean. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. Light of love and grace, shine upon my face. All that I need comes to me. Light of love and grace, shine upon my face. All that I need comes to me.
Giving is this process as we're sitting in our seats. Hug self. Give yourself a hug. That is prosperity. That is love, and it is abundant right here, right now. This center, all of me, all present, all is God, all is ever flowing, ever creating, big and bold and quiet and small. It doesn't matter. I am grateful to it. And then I open up and let it flow. And
That's all we let in me. That's all it is. That's all we let in me. I always have to stand far away from the microphone when I'm singing. So now we go. So I would love to thank Carol for the meditation and holding high watch. Kristen Pierce for being on. Big thank you to Raul. Also, already on piano, Pastor on drums, Coon Colburn, our service coordinator for today, Tammy Evans on live streaming to Facebook, and Robin Workhouse on slides. Our song leaders, Joni Bauman and Rachel Grace, and all the other volunteers that help Sundays. If you're interested in helping out, we need somebody to set up and take down on Sundays. This is my little PSA. Put the flags out by the road, because I just cannot get them out there without blowing away. So if you're interested, let us know. And if you're joining us for the first time today, here already knows each other, so we don't need a welcome packet. However, if you're online, just private message us on Facebook or call the office for a welcome package for more information. So, please say our blessing with me. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is my life.